state do support taking climate action, but a lot of the Republican legislators kind of brainwashed a lot of their constituents into thinking that through passing climate legislation, we were somehow going against their communities and that we wanted to harm working class families, thus creating a lot of tension between the groups of people that are advocating for it and the people that are advocating against it.
In Oregon, we have a rule that says in order to have a quorum, you have to have 2/3 of all legislators, and Oregon has around 60%, so that's not enough to get to the 2/3 we need to actually start a session. So what happened is the Republicans walked out, they just didn't come to work, and most of them fled to Idaho or Montana or another state.
These legislators were not doing the jobs that they were paid to do. It was very heartbreaking to see that. So I felt in that moment that although they claimed that it was the most democratic thing to do, the reality is that they were turning against democracy, and it was because they didn't want the majority idea that the majority of people supported to pass. So it should have been very easy for us to pass this bill, considering that all these people were democratically elected, and these are people that constituents felt best represented them. I'd spent that entire legislative session advocating for this bill. I went to every single lobby day. I was at the Capitol like 4 or 5 times a week. I talked to my legislators, I wrote letters, all these different things, and I was very, very involved.
We have a democracy here in Oregon and across the United States, and it's where everyone has to voice their opinions and bring them to the table. If you're just leaving over everything you disagree with, there's no point of having a democracy in general.
They pollute over that cap, then they have to put money inside of a fund. We take the money from this fund and we invest it back into our state, into everything that I want to see for my future, into job transferal programs from coal to clean, into the communities hit first and worst by climate change.
Mostly right now, it's disproportionately affecting indigenous communities and lower income communities because they don't have the resources to protect themselves from drastic flooding or changing weather or any other problem. So it's those people we need to help out first.
That's a very valid concern to have, especially maybe if there's only one breadwinner in your house, and losing that job could mean that you wouldn't be able to afford housing or food or any other basic necessities. But the bill was created for working class, for lower income, and for marginalized communities. So to somehow flip it and to say that it's going against them, or that we're trying to harm their communities, or we're trying to take away their jobs in any way, is just completely not correct at all.
I will say that for sure, it is not ideal that it had to be issued an executive order. It would have been much more preferable if we had done it the correct way by going through the legislature. But when you have two parties that are refusing to work together, not even discussing, just refusing to work together, we need action, and the only form that can come in is through our governor.
I personally think it's really good for states to take action on their own. We don't need to wait for the government, the national government, to enact climate policy, because I think we know that that's not going to happen real soon.
I'm hoping that after the pandemic is over, we can get back onto what we were doing and kind of proceed with normal activities so we can ensure that we're getting something done.
There's obviously no single silver bullet to climate change. However, every step that we're taking is just going to make it that much easier to reverse this crisis.
Climate change isn't going to slow down, and so we cannot slow down either. We need to keep pushing forward with more comprehensive legislation to protect our future generations.
I think that even if we were to just take aspects of the Green New Deal, like investments in infrastructure, investments in cars, different things like that, so that we can systemically change the way that communities of color and other marginalized communities exist, it would help alleviate a lot of the climate crisis problems that we have.
If we don't step up now, nobody's going to be there to step up for us, because all the states have to manage their own problems. Every state's unique, like we've seen in this current situation. And if we continue to delay or wait from action, that will be way too late. If Oregon steps up, we can inspire the rest of the states. Our impact can have a really just big ripple effect across the world and in the US especially.